ready for the first tricky question? Yeah? Okay. Can you pick out 2 of these Play-Doh balls that look exactly the same? Find the ones that look the most the same, okay?
The most similar.
The most similar. What do you think? Those look pretty close. And they're a pretty color too, aren't they? You go, okay. You're just putting them all in pairs, huh? Okay, now just choose one color, okay? Do you want to choose these 2 or these 2? Just choose one. Okay, now give me all the other ones. Keep those though. Thank you. Okay, here comes some more tricky questions. You ready? So just hold on to those. I'm gonna, here, let me steal one.
Hey, you skipped down my ball.
Okay, well I'm gonna take this one. Ready? And it was the same as the other ones, remember? Okay?
Well, I want to make one.
We'll keep one of them like a ball, okay?
Okay. I'm going to keep this one.
Alright.
And this one is circle.
Okay, keep that one in a circle. Okay, now look at these 2. Ready? Here comes the next question. Alright. Do you still have the same amount of Play-Doh in this one as you do in this one? Do you think they're the same? No? Why do you think that?
Because this one is rolled and this one is
This one's what?
rolled
Yeah?
and this one is.
Because you think this one looks longer and this one looks smaller, or what? Do you think that this one and this one have the same amount? Yeah? No?
Yeah.
No?
It is.
Yeah! You think so?
Yeah.
Good job.
Mine's gonna be even long
Okay.
than yours.
When you make it even longer, do you think it's the same amount? No? Okay.
It's gonna be high.
Okay. So, with the Play-Doh, here we go again. Just pick out the ones that you think are more similar. I mean, whatever you prefer. Okay. And they're the same color too, so that works. All right, so do you think that either of them weigh more or less, or are they equal?
I believe they're equal
Okay. Why do you think that?
because they look the same and they're rolled up in the ball.
Okay, good answer. So now we're going to use these cups. You can see that they are like the equal amount of water, right? So you're going to roll that into a log now. And then we're going to try something with the water. You can make it as long as you want or fancy as you want. So, you think that they're the exact same still? Do they still weigh the same amount?
I think so.
Okay. Well, if they weigh the same amount, then the water is going to go up and it's going to still be at the same point in the cup. You know, it's going to be the same. So we're going to see, we're going to test and see if it's going to be equal or if one of them weighs more or not. I mean, they look a little bit different, but we'll see. Okay, just put them in careful.
I need Ron and Elijah Key to the front, please. Ron and Elijah, you're needed to the front.
Okay, you want to put them close together and see if they're the same? Oh!
A little bit.
Yeah, it looks, here, you can wipe your hands off with that if you want. It looks like they do weigh the same, huh? They take up the same amount of space in the water cup. So that shows that even though they're changing different forms, they're still going to be weighing the same amount. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? You can start doing this. So, look really carefully and try to find the ones that look the most similar. Like same size, same shape. You know, there's not necessarily really any wrong way that you can do this. They're pretty, so, just whichever ones you think look the most similar. Yeah, so grab 2 of them. Okay.
I need harmony.
All the girls were
To
choosing the
front,
small
please.
ones.
Harmony to the front.
You see something different now. Okay, so you think that those probably weigh about the same. Yeah, they look the same, they probably weigh the same. Okay, so I'm gonna have you roll one of them into like a log, you know, little round log. Yeah. You're gonna know exactly what's going on. You're older and you're smarter, right? Okay. So now that it's a different shape, do you still think it weighs the same?
Yeah.
Yeah? Just in a different form?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing? Okay, so these are exactly the same height, right? Don't you think? So your sister wasn't quite sure exactly if they're the same weight or not, and this was one way that she was able to prove it, was this is the same height, and so if you put those both in, it should fill up to the same height again, you know, even though they're filling up different spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put those in here. Just be careful so it doesn't, like, you might want to smush it and turn it and get under there. And then you can put that other one in there. And now compare and see if the water levels are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so that's one way you can find out if there's something that is the same mass. And do you know what mass is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a chair or a table. They all take up mass and everything. So that was the first experiment that we did, and that was pretty easy, right? Okay, that's all we have to do for that one. So we're starting off easy, and then we'll get a little more tricky. You can stop that, Carlos. Tricky, okay? Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to pay really good attention to my questions, okay?
This is like football.
Okay? Are you gonna pay really good attention?
Yes.
Okay, let's do this. Is it going?
Which one is in my hand?
Nope, I'm the one that gets to ask questions. Okay? Alright, can you know when you throw something in like a pond or something, something sink to the bottom and you can't see them anymore? Yeah? Have you done that before? Where you like throw something in a puddle or in a pond and some things sink and some things don't? Like they go to all the way to the bottom. Yeah?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we're gonna see which ones.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, that would sink, wouldn't it?
No, this.
I guess we'll find out. That's what we're gonna try to do. Can you try to put them in different? Can you put some of them in a pile that you think would float, which is stay above the water,
No.
and which ones would sink? So float and sink.
Oops. Sink.
Everything sink. Here, I'll move it. Sink. Okay, you want to try it? So you think that these would sink and these would float?
I'm right.
Okay, let's try it. Here, hold this so that this doesn't roll away.
You said the other one was sink.
We tested this on Carlos, and Carlos did pretty good too. These are your ones that are gonna sink or float.
That's our sink,
Sink.
and that's float.
Okay, let's see if it goes all the way to the bottom. You were right. Look at that. That one sunk. Let's see about that one. Wow, you're getting really good at this. It's okay if it's a little wet. Oh,
Oops.
yeah, that one spotted a little bit. Here, you can keep it in there. But it looks like that one floats.
Because
Right.
they have too much air in it.
Wow.
It's all float.
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, be careful, be careful. You don't want to get all the water everywhere. Oh, you got that one right. You got both of those right. Right? Or was that float?
I need to
Float.
wash my
Oh, never mind.
hands.
No, it's okay. You're fine for now. We have some paper towels that you can use afterwards. Do that last one. Oh, that one floats.
No.
But it goes right back up to the top, doesn't it? Okay, now how about let's take your hands out right now. We don't need your hands in there anymore, okay? We're gonna dry them off. Leave those things in there though, okay?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now dry them off and set the paper towel aside. Now are you ready for those tricky questions? Yeah?
I know all of them.
Okay, we'll see about that. Alright, are you ready? Okay. Why do you think the key sunk? See the key? Why do you think that sunk? All the way to the bottom.
Because it didn't float.
But why? Why didn't it float?
Because it didn't have air.
That's a good answer. How about why do you think the piece of wood floats?
Because it has air in it.
And same with this one?
Because the ball has air in it.
Do you think that the pencil has air in it too? Or is there another reason why that's floating?
Because it can float.
But why can't it float?
Because it can't sink.
Because it
But
can't.
it can stir. This is like soup.
Okay, ready for the next question?
Yeah.
What happens when you push the ping pong ball down?
I can't push it out like this.
Yeah. What happens? Here, push it down, and then let your hand up. What happens? Oh! You got water everywhere.
Again?
Yeah, you need to be careful. What happened though?
I'm watching the It won't sink because it has air in it. Because the other ball had sink because it had air in it and it was too heavy.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. I like that one.
And the rock sank because it was too heavy.
Okay. All right. Well, you did really good on that one. Now we're all done. That was pretty easy too, right? Yeah. Okay.
See, I
You
told
can stop it now.
Wait, can I watch it?
We can watch it after this for a little. See how big of a splash they can make. Yeah, I do that too. So some of the things they go and hit the. Did you start it?
Yeah.
They go and hit the water, and you don't see them anymore. They just completely disappear. You know. So what do you think happens there?
They sink.
Sink all the way to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then other
They're
things.
either too heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. And other things, do you see them just stay on the water?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because they're light.
Okay. So then you'll probably be able to do this. You sort all these different things between what would float and what would sink.
Okay.
You might have to hold on to the balls too because those want to roll everywhere. So which pile is this over here?
Sink
Okay.
and float.
Okay. You're doing good. Okay, let's see. Let's put all the ones that you said sink in first. It's a little dirty from before. See if you got them right. Looks like you got that one right. Good job. Oh, actually we have one more thing, I think. You can keep going though. The needle. Good job. It looks like you got all of them right. Oh. And then you want to be really careful with this one because it's pokey and you don't want to hurt yourself. Do you think that the needle's going to sink or float?
Float.
Okay, so put that in that pile over there. Just be careful. Oh, got that one right. Oh, looks like that one sunk.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Do you want to get a paper towel? Oh, that one sunk too. Okay, here comes the questions. And here, then you can wipe. You're a little bit neater than Alyssa. She's splashing the water everywhere. Okay, are you ready for these questions? Okay, why do you think, or no, let's start over. Which is heavier? Do you think the key or the ping pong ball is heavier? Like this ping pong ball, not the golf ball.
the key.
Yeah? Okay. Why do you think that?
Because the key is made out of the metal and the ping pong ball is plastic.
I need Troy and Sammy Martin
Ball
to the
won't
front,
float.
please.
Good
Troy
answer.
and Sammy, your name
Can
to the
you
front.
put these in different different objects into groups? Like, do you see something in common between all the things that are floating and the ones that sunk? Do you see anything in common at all?
No.
Nothing at all? Okay. Let's see. Do you have any idea why those objects floated? And why those sunk?
Maybe because the rock is heavy, the key is metal, the golf ball, I would say it's heavy,
Yeah.
and the pen, the paper clip,
I need Mikhail
I thought it was light,
Martin,
but it
please.
was heavy,
Mikhail, to the front.
so I think it would be heavy in that way when it sunk, but when you actually pick it up, it's light, and then the needle, I thought it was gonna float, but it wasn't.
Yeah. See, that needle and the paper clip are a little tricky because they're so little that you think that they would float, right? But this is what I was gonna talk to. Do you know who the next person is that's coming in? No? Well, for the older people, but you seem really smart, so I'm gonna tell you too. You know, it kind of tricked him up too a little bit. But have you ever heard of the word density?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you know what it means at all? No? Okay, I'll explain it a little bit. Just to kind of like make it a little simpler. The molecules, do you know what molecules are at all? Molecules are like what make up an object.
Oh, okay.
And so the molecules and the key are really, really tied together. So there's no room for things like air and stuff, you know? And so like they're really dense. And so all dense things, that's one thing that's in common with all the things that sunk, is they're really dense. There's not very much air or room for anything else. So they sunk, and then you know what? These are not dense, and you know why?
Because they have air.
Yeah. And the molecules are really far apart.
No, just keep going.
Okay, so here are all these different objects. Your sister did really good with this one. And so did Alyssa. She's pretty talkative.
Be careful with this because it's a needle.
So just don't poke yourself or hurt yourself. And then pencil. There's a pencil. Thank you. Okay, so I did this one story with your sister. Whenever you're going and like you see a pond or something, do you ever just like throw a rock and see how big the splash can be?
I just try to skip them.
Okay, or that, like exactly. I like doing that too. It's kind of tricky. I'm not very good at it. But after you get done skipping your rock, does it just disappear? What happens?
Well, it doesn't
to it?
disappear, it just sinks.
Okay, that's exactly what I was looking for. Do you ever throw like a stick in there and it stays on top of the water? What's that called? What does it do?
Floats.
Good job. So these are all, okay, well I guess, scoot this out of the way a little bit. I want you to put in two different categories which ones you think will sink and which ones will float. So are these your sink?
No, float.
Float? Okay. Kind of tricky. There's some little tricky ones in there. And your sister wasn't very sure about them either. Good job. Okay. Now we're going to test it out and see if you got them right. Just do one of the categories first. So these are all your sinking ones. You got it down. You got them all right. Now let's see about these.
Oh, that's the one I.
Yeah?
Oh, this one's gonna sink.
Well, okay, if you do it like that. Set it on top, yeah. But hey, you know, you learn something. Needles sink. But, so you got all of them ready except for the needle. It's kind of interesting to see because you'd expect that those little ones, like the paper clip and the needle, would float, you know, just looking at it since they're so little.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why, like, the wood is floating and the key is sinking? Do you have any idea why?
Because that's metal and that's wood.
Okay, simple as that. What about the paper clip and the needle? Do you have any idea why those sunk?
They're like the same size.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
They're both metal.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Have you ever heard of the word density?
Mm-hmm.
Have you learned that in school at all?
Mm-hmm.
It's like basically a way to measure how compact an object is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I explained this to your sister too. How
Corbin, Dominique, and
with the
Myra,
key,
to
have you ever heard of
Corbin,
molecules?
Dominique, Wyatt,
Do you know what a
Wyatt.
molecule is?
Like something made up of something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the table's made up of all these molecules. We're made up of molecules. And when something is dense, the molecules are really, really close together. And so that's why they're sinking. Like, they don't have things like air in them. And so they're really close, and so they're going all the way down to the bottom because they're heavy, you know? And then these, they float because why?
Because they have less density.
Mm-hmm. Very smart. Good answer. Let's see what
I
this...
want to pour it
Maybe you'll be able to do the last one if you're very quiet
in. I'm
and
always quiet.
Debatable.
if you're really quiet and you watch super close. Okay? So if you're really good, then you can do this one. Alright?
Like the other ones did.
Mm-hmm. Alright, ready?
Is that teaspoon?
No, this is just food coloring. Sometimes you put food coloring in teaspoons to measure it, though. Okay.
Okay.
Now watch super, super close.
Okay. Oh.
Look at that. Can you see it?
I really want to drink it.
No, you don't want to drink that. That'd be yucky. Okay, now watch this one.
Wow, is that
That one's
blood?
a little bit different, isn't it?
Is that
See,
blood?
look at how this one just stays on the surface. That one goes everywhere.
That's gonna make it blood.
Yeah, it's gonna look kind of like blood.
Food coloring. Ew, disgusting. Add more.
We're just gonna do 2 drops because we just did 2 drops in those. Look at that. It's a lot lighter than all the other ones, isn't it?
It looks like pee.
It kind of does. Alright, you did really good, but you have to be super, super careful when you're doing this, okay? So you barely even squeeze it. Okay, that's it, that's it. Look at that. Yeah, look at how red that is.
That's darker than these.
Look at this. This is almost regular now. It's like not even red at all. Okay, now here comes the questions. Why do you think that every cup is reacting differently to the food coloring? Why is it all different?
Because the first one is up, the second is down, the third is light, the fourth is dark.
Good job. They are all looking a little different. So now you know that they aren't all water, right? Here. You want this? Oh, careful, careful. Okay. Now, did you think that they were all water before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark goes first.
Mhm. But now we know that there's something else, right? It's not water. You know what this is?
Corn.
This is actually bleach. Your mommy uses it to get all the yucky stuff off your shirt if you mark it up with marker. You know, she gets all the colors out of it.
And your hands?
Not your hands. Not your hands.
My hands are dirty.
Okay, let's see.
Do we have another
What kinds of liquids do you think are in here?
Food.
Well, food coloring, yeah. But do you know what it started off as?
That's strawberry.
You remember what I just told you?
No, actually no.
Bleach. So these are all different things, and because
I
they're
was about
different.
to say bleach.
Well, you said it right, bleach. But they're all different substances. They're all different liquids. So then the food
But which
coloring
one is the highest?
made it different. This one is. All right, but that's it. That's all we have for our little experiment. Are you ready for something fun, though?
No, let's do it.
Here, look. I think it's this one. Oh. Okay, but that's it we have. That's all we have.
I want to do it.
No, we're not gonna. I'm gonna have you do is try to get the same outcome that I get with these things. So it's really kind of cool. And so I'll have you do this, the food coloring right after I do it. So look at the way it reacts with the substances in there. Look how it's kind of different. Like how it kind of sits on top, and then it kind of drips, and then it's spread out slow. So, you ready? Here, feel the cup. Is that kind of cool? Smells weird though. Okay, so let's let this sit for a second. Look at how the color is kind of going away. Is that kind of weird?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to put drips in all these different things. Just put like 2 drips, okay? And then just pay attention to how it spreads out in the water or what happens. Okay? Just be careful. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that kind of cool? It's kind of slow. Look at how weird that is. Do you remember how it looked when we put them in these? There wasn't as much liquid in there, but try to remember what that one looked at so you can look like. Oh, it's dripping. It's okay. Carlos did the same thing. Look at his hands. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit red, but it's not gonna get on your clothes or anything. Here, is there stuff on the bottle? No, you're good. Just pull it, hold it straight down. There you go. Good job. Now you don't have to get red anymore. Just look at how different that looks from these. And look at how that's taking so long to spread out. You want to hit the cups a teeny bit like this so that they mix up. Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? Okay, so do you want to try to get them to do the whole fizzy thing that mine did? But when you're testing them out, just pour a little bit, okay? Until you find the right one. Oh, that one didn't look like it fizzed very much, did it? Keep trying. It's like, which one is it going to be? Ah! You gonna pour pour a little bit more in there if you want. Have a little fun. Woo! Kind of scares you that it's going to overflow, doesn't it? Okay. So here's some questions. Why do you think those two liquids fizzed? Do you have any idea why?
Maybe because one is vinegar and then the other one is like bleach.
You're actually really, really close. It's actually bleach and hydrogen peroxide. And so they had a chemical reaction. So that's why that happened. Isn't that kind of cool? You're like a scientist over here. Okay. How was the red color able to disappear? You notice how you put the food coloring in there and now it's completely white? Do you have any idea why that happened? Do you remember what that was?
Was this one bleach?
And that's the stuff that your mom puts on your clothes whenever you get stains on it, you know?
Yeah.
And it takes it out just like that. So that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did the red spread differently in the cups right after they were dripped in there? Were they a little bit different in each cup?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what happened? Do you remember?
This one, it slowly spread out. This one kind of went fast and it mixed fast. This one, when it was spreading out, it was starting kind of like go down to the sides and was starting to lose its color. And then this one, I forgot.
Yeah. No, you did great. And that's pretty much all we have. So you had some really, really good answers. You can stop it, Carlos, if you want. So I guess Rayan is probably out there playing with everybody then? Okay, did you learn some stuff?